Bitcoin is sitting just above the 3 touches of death formation, and what is going to happen next is going to surprise a lot of short sellers. If this is the kind of format of video you'd like to see, be sure to hit the thumbs up button and subscribe, but most importantly, come and join us on our Discord chat as we go through the technical analysis real time as these prices unfold. Let's jump into today's episode and see what's going on with Bitcoin. We're looking at the longs and shorts from this position as Bitcoin prices are making a potential 1, 2, 3 top formation here, and they're consolidating into a larger triangle that really could burst higher. I'm watching what's going on with the longs and shorts just as prices are setting up here now. We can see the shorts and the longs are both pulling back right at this time frame. When we go into the weekly relative strength index, we're bouncing off of this key level between bullish and bearishness. And so long as we stay below this level, it certainly is potential for bearish since we are below this larger 1, 2, 3 formation here in the charts. As we're staying below that and testing anything down here, it's certainly all bearish from this trend line down, and we're still within that trend. Should we continue breaking down here with the relative strength index on the weekly view, that would continue a bearish view. I'm wanting to find the bullish view in this, so what I'm looking for is some support off of this level, that if this RSI is pulling up off of here while prices are showing strength, then it could be our chance that Bitcoin really is going to do what we think it's going to do, right? This is the financial reset of the world. Silver, gold, and Bitcoin had better behave together, otherwise Bitcoin really isn't a project that is working. This is the moment now. So as we're watching, I'm expecting that Bitcoin's going to go to the moon. I expect that it's actually going to work, and that this consolidation pattern, though it looks like a top formation, it really isn't. It really isn't at all the same as this one right here, though it is starting out to look like it. It isn't. It's not going to finish the same way. And we're going to see the difference in the way that the RSI came up to the top 3 times here, and then we have lower highs here. As this breaks, we've got a lot of room for this to be going up to the top side now from these levels off of this stance here on the 12-hour. And so I am absolutely looking for the biased view on it right here, but look at all the times we've been bouncing off of these levels. And this kind of trend line in the RSI is always interesting to me, especially on the 1-hour time frame. As we pay attention to this trend, every time it's going down, there is a great potential for this to be the breakout moment that we go higher according to this RSI right now. On the unbalanced volume, I'll quickly go through this. This bottom here and this bottom here are really quite different. I can't clear this off right now because I want to go into the 3 touches of death that we're setting up here just as volume is pulling down. As I go into the 12-hour time frame, what I'm going to do is get rid of that volume down below and just talk about this, the 1, 2, 3 bottom formation. Normally, the 3 touches of death is when the prices are coming up under this bottom formation. They've hit the number 2.3 times and they don't make it. That's usually the touch of death, and the continuation is going to go on the same way. This time, however, we've got it touching the number 2 point from the top 1, 2, 3 times, and it's failed to break through it on those 3 attempts. To me, that means we're going completely the other direction. Now let's put the volume back in here and see, because this will tell us as it's happening. As we zoom in on time frames now, the 4-hour time frame, the 1-hour time frame, it's losing selling power, but it certainly hasn't turned around to buying power yet. So as we're breaking out of this will have to turn into buying power here on the 1-hour time frame. And if it continues and dips back to selling power as we're breaking below these levels, that's also really key and absolutely a sell signal off of those levels. Now, again, on the MACD, on the weekly time frame, I'm looking for the bullish view. I am biased. And we've got shorter and shorter histograms. This is coming closer together. And as I was saying last video that, I was really, really bullish when I saw the cross of the MACD building up this way. Now that it has the potential to cross again, I'm just as bullish. It's just a different phase of it, and we'll see how this turns out. On the daily view, this must continue holding itself positive in the histograms as we're going up here. Should this turn around to a negative histogram and cross, that is bearish. The 12-hour time frame has already got the negative histogram, but it's not deep enough yet to have pulled the daily. We have a cross to the negative off of these 2 tops, but it's pretty much sideways. And since it hasn't crossed to the negative and dipped down below center line, I'm not really convinced that it's negative actually. It's just a consolidation setting up. The 4-hour time frame doesn't really give that much extra information, except that it does have a bit of a bearish setup here. So again, should we be breaking below and that expand, then we're going to be going bearish. But if this crosses positive as we are breaking above these levels, you know it, that is great support for all of the bullishness I'm expecting. On the weekly Ichimoku cloud, I have to move the prices out of here and say, yeah, that is a bearish, that's bearish. The blue crossing below the red right there is bearish. So when the blue crosses below the red, I don't like it. As looking for a bullish signal, I don't like it. So let's put the prices back in there, move into the daily time frame. We've got 2 hits off the top of a red cloud. We had 2 hits off the top of a red cloud before, and I was super bullish and I was completely wrong. And so I don't want to make that mistake again, and yet I don't want a mistake on the other side, expecting to be wrong, and then it goes the way So we've got to be ready on both sides and just add on to the trade when you're correct and only hold it if you are correct. Into the 12-hour time frame, the blue line is crossed above the red line. We still have a positive cloud. We are up above the cloud, touching from above. We've got the trailing indicator. It's all looking, potentially bullish from what we're doing here. And I want to compare what happened with the indicators as we went through this green cloud right here. What happened with the blue line and the red line? The blue crossed below the red and it just continued staying below it. Here the blue crossed below the red, but it's crossed back up above it. So it's going to have to cross below the red and maintain below it for this to prove itself out here to make itself look like the same thing. Now again, over here, we had the blue cross below the red, and it stayed below the red as we went through that cloud. This time, it didn't do that here on the 12-hour time frame, and that's pretty important. The 4-hour time frame will be noisier, and it will have transitioned through the cloud a little bit differently. It went through the green cloud, back up through the red, and tested. Now, so long as it's holding above these clouds, it didn't hold above the clouds before. So already from this stance, from where we're holding in the Ichimoku cloud from the 4 and the 12, we are in a more bullish stance than we were before. And that's really key. And before we finish, I want to go into Bollinger Bands. On the weekly time frame, we are bearish so long as we are below this midline. That's what it is. We've got to make our way above that before we can turn ourselves and call ourselves bullish. Now on the daily time frame, it's really narrowing down, indicating that there's probably a big move coming, and I'm expecting that there may be a mean reversion off either one of these where it goes up there quickly and slams back the other direction. So those are things I'm watching for with the Bollinger Band, and I'm just experimenting. The 12-hour is even tighter as we are moving into this sideways band. The 4-hour as well has showed us a few different times where we got the mean reversion trade as it came out between the 2nd and 3rd standard deviation. Here it came out of the 3rd standard deviation and it has gone sideways from here. Nothing clear out of this from what I can see. I want to talk about Bitcoin dominance versus Bitcoin. The blue in the background is Bitcoin prices. Bitcoin dominance is the candles here. It is a rule of thumb that if Bitcoin dominance is dropping and Bitcoin prices are rising, that means that altcoins are actually outperforming Bitcoin, and your money should be in a select group of altcoins. There is a group of altcoins that are pretty much flat and not doing anything. The economy is bad for every different project out there, and if you're a questionable project, you're probably going to get wrecked right now. And so as we can see, Bitcoin dominance is dropping and Bitcoin prices are rising just over this last month of April, and it's been a good idea to be in some good altcoins. Not all of them are really going up. And what we've done is taken our trading system and we put it against every single one of the alts on Binance and Poloniex, and we grade them against our trading plan. We give them a color coding, those that are almost ready to break out of the 1, 2, 3 bottom formation, and they're getting ready to break above that 12-hour exponential moving average that we're always watching. Those ones get to be in alert status. Once they've broken above that and they are above the 12-hour EMA, they are put into hold status. And you can see here from July the 10th until now, almost an entire year, this is the only time that we've seen all of these coins hold themselves into an alert status like this. We've got all of these projects right on the edge, right on the starting line, ready to go. All of these projects are right on the starting line, ready to go, but you can see that not all coins are ready to go. We can see 86 projects that are neutral. They're not really taking off. We have 20 projects that are at almost failing down to new lows. If you want to get this information about what is actually in the bull market watch, you can grab our essentials package here, or if you want to have even more help, go and check out the Pro Alerts package. To finish off, we can say that there is a big move coming. To me, it looks bullish that we're bouncing off the top of these clouds. It's going to be a big move because we can see Bollinger Bands have compressed so tightly, and we can see exactly when it's going to be. When this MACD starts to cross positive and we're breaking above these levels, it's going to clear that this 1, 2, 3 formation is verified and that we are good to go. So thanks again for watching this video. I appreciate having you guys along. This is just a snapshot of the prices in time. Be sure to come and join us over on Discord because we talk about this kaleidoscope as it changes. Thanks again for being here. I'll see you on the next video. Stay safe and profitable.